লকডাউন চলছে, স্কুল বন্ধ, সেক্ষেত্রে পড়াশোনা কি হবে? আর সেজন্যই নিউজ 18 বাংলার আইসিএসসি ক্লাসরুম, অর্থাৎ আইসিএসসি বোর্ডে যারা পড়ছো তাদের পড়ার যাতে কিছুটা হলেও সাহায্য হয়, কিছুটা হলেও যাতে এগিয়ে যেতে পারো, তার জন্য আইসিএসসি ক্লাসরুম। আর আইসিএসসি ক্লাসরুমে আজ কারা পড়াবেন একবার আলাপ করিয়ে দিই তোমাদের সঙ্গে। আমার সঙ্গে রয়েছেন এই মুহূর্তে ফিউচার ফাউন্ডেশন স্কুলের মিসেস সুমনা মধু, প্রাইমারি ম্যাথস পড়াবেন, এবং আমার সঙ্গে রয়েছেন দ্য হেরিটেজ স্কুলের সৌভিক জাতি, যিনি আপার প্রাইমারি ম্যাথস পড়াবেন। তবে তার আগে একটা বার্তা, ভিডিও বার্তা। কার না, চিফ এক্সিকিউটিভ অ্যান্ড সেক্রেটারি জেরি অ্যারাথুন সিএসসির চিফ এক্সিকিউটিভ অ্যান্ড সেক্রেটারি, তিনি কি বার্তা দিচ্ছে তোমাদের জন্য, স্টুডেন্টদের জন্য, একবার শুনে নেওয়া যাক।
As we are all aware, schools are shut and no classes are being held due to the lockdown. The Council has taken the initiative to conduct live lessons on News 18 Bangla channel for the subjects English and Mathematics for junior and middle school children from classes 3 to 8. These live lessons are being conducted by the Council's subject experts today for the subject Mathematics and tomorrow English, and again on 25th and 26th April 2020 for the same two subjects. The objectives for conducting these live lessons are to present selective elements of these two core subjects, English and Mathematics, to develop an interest in these subjects through simple games and activities so that children are able to relate and apply learned concepts to real life situations. I request all children of our council schools to participate actively in this program, stay in touch with your studies, and continue to learn through these live lessons.
তাহলে এবার পড়াশোনা শুরু করা যাক। প্রথমেই প্রাইমারি ম্যাথস পড়াবেন মিসেস সুমনা মধু। ম্যাম প্লিজ।
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to all those who are watching this program from home, and a very warm welcome to all my young viewers. So children, today I will be talking to you about mathematics, which I know is the favorite subject for most of you. Am I right? Okay, so we say maths is fun, and I'm sure you all agree, you all enjoy maths a lot. Most of you have begun the new session, and the first topic that we start with is numbers. You all are familiar with numbers? Since the time you learnt how to count, you started counting on your fingers, you knew how to count and you were familiar with numbers. You all know what are numbers. But numbers are more than just counting and measuring. We use numbers everywhere. In fact, I'm sure you're finding out and discovering new things about numbers, new things about this fascinating part of maths. Yes? Okay. So, let us take an example. Like when you first started learning about numbers, you could count only very small numbers. Yes? So, you put, say you counted a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you put it in one square. When you wrote numbers in the beginning, you had, say, 9. Then you put one more, but then there's only place for one number in our box. So where do I put the next number? Then you saw that I have to put the next number in the next box. So I have the concept of ones and tens. So we see that if I have 10 ones, it becomes, 10 ones, it becomes 1 10. Similarly, when you have 10 tens, then you get a hundreds, and you can get all the other numbers after all the other places after that. But the minute you started coming to the higher classes, you are faced with bigger numbers. Oh, so are you scared? No, you are not, because you have already learnt how to deal and how to manipulate and how to play around with smaller numbers. So if you remember whatever you have learnt in the junior classes, then these bigger numbers are also very, very easy. Okay, so let us try and see. Now suppose so before I go to that, let me just tell you briefly what are the key concepts that are done in classes 3, 4 and 5. And most of these concepts, children, are things that you have already done in classes 1 and 2. Only thing, the numbers are getting a little bigger, but there's no need to worry. So this is what I was talking about. You have ones, and when you have 10 ones, it becomes a longer block. So you have a stack of ones. So 10 ones makes 110, and 10 tens will make 100, and 10 hundreds make 1,000. Now the minute you have bigger numbers, it becomes a little difficult but not impossible, because you have the system of numeration. You can work with the system of numeration, easy. How do we do that? Let us see. So we have the Indian system of numeration to help us write and name numbers. Why do we need this system? Now if I just give you a random number, say 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, lot of numbers, and I'm scared. But what happens? So say I'm writing a number, I'm taking a 6-digit number, okay? But I use the Indian system of numeration to give this number a name, to understand how do I name this. I can't go and tell them, okay, I know this number 796423. What is the name of this number? I need to know that. So I already know ones. Remember, going back to what you've learned, you know tens, you know hundreds, you know thousands, and now you have 10,000 and you have a lakh. Right? So far all good. Let us understand how. We will keep revisiting the concepts that we have done in classes 1 and 2. We will keep going back, because remember what I told you in the beginning, all our learning is based on what we have already learned earlier. Right? So let us see. Suppose I give you, say I'm starting with very simple numbers. Say I'm starting with 42 and 24. They are very simple 2-digit numbers. So if I ask you, compare these two. Okay, so you have to tell me which is bigger. Simple. This is jol bhat, as you would say. So very, very simple. How would you tell me this? You say that, ma'am, 42 is bigger than 24. How do you know? Because 40 is bigger than 20. Simple. So what did you look at? You looked at the place value of the first digit over here. So you looked at the biggest place value in this 2-digit number, that is tens. So remember, for greatest number, we look at the place value of the highest digit. Okay, sorry, of the digit in the highest place. So here you see that 4 is in the tens place, 2 is also in the tens place. So naturally 4 tens is more than 2 tens, so this is bigger. Even for 3 digits, say I say now I'm adding say 303 and I have say 529. Now which is bigger? So in this case this was bigger. Now in this case, which do you think is bigger? 303 and 529. So which is bigger? This is bigger, right? Why? Because 500s is more than 300s. But, so this is smaller. But what happens if I take a number, say 303, and I take 313? What happens in this case? What happens in this case? So in this case, 300s, 300s, both are the same. So I go to the tens place. Here there are no tens, and here you have 110. So naturally 110 is more. So this is again smaller. Yes, so use the same concept, the same thing that you have already learned, that you have already understood to understand bigger numbers. Right? So to know the highest, the greatest number that is possible by a given number of digits, put the biggest the biggest digit in the highest place. So suppose I have these digits given to me. If I have these digits given to me and I have to make the biggest number possible by using all these digits. So what do I do? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 digits given. So what do I do? Ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000, 10,000. Right? Now I know that the highest place value is 10,000. So I put the biggest number possible over here. So let's say what is the biggest now? 7. And in that order, 6, next would be 4, then 2, and then 1. Right? So this would be the biggest. Similarly, I can find out what is the smallest. So for the smallest, I would have to start with the smallest digit in the highest place. Right? So I have 1, then I have 2, I have 4, 6 and 7. So this is very simple now. So now,
ma'am, can you go for a break? Small commercial break.
okay sir, I'll come back with the activity. We'll revise this.
এতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত যা যা পড়েছো বা যা যা শিখলে সেগুলো না হয় একটু মনে করে নাও, আরেকবার ভেবে নাও। ততক্ষণ একটা ছোট্ট বিরতি, সঙ্গে থাকো।
मैडम ये तो
মিসেস সুমনা মাধু প্রাইমারি ম্যাথস পড়াচ্ছিলেন। সরাসরি একবার শুনে নেওয়া যাক ম্যাম কি পড়াচ্ছেন। ম্যাম প্লিজ।
Welcome back children. So we are ready to revise what we have just learned, and it's time for a game. I had told you before the break that we will start a game. So let us see what we are using for this game. We are using a set of number cards. You could use ordinary playing cards that I have here. You can all see this. Or you could use Uno cards, which are very popular with all of you. And if nothing else, make a set of number cards. You use 4 colors of, you can use 4 colored pens to make 4 sets from 0 to 9. So here I am using a deck of playing cards, which I have, and we take out all the higher cards. We should have from 0 to 9. Now you may say that, ma'am, we don't have 0 in number cards. So never mind, use the jacks or the jokers, right? So what do we do? What are the rules? Let me go through it quickly. Now the number of players depends how many people are there right now. So you could have it between 2 to 10 players for 4 digit numbers. Basically the idea is to have fun, right? Because it's a game and we know maths is fun. So we are only talking about this game to revise what you know, but then don't forget that you should be having fun while you do it. So we give 4, 6 or 9 cards to each player, and you have to make the biggest number. You could make a variation, you could make the smallest number also. For this game we are sticking to biggest number. Make the biggest number possible, and the player who makes the biggest number gets 1 point. And you continue in this way, you start with a new game. Let's see how it is. So here the first player has got the cards 3, 7, 4, 8 and the second player has 9, 2, 1, 8. So the biggest number possible is 8743 and in the second player's hand it is 9821. So you compare both of them and you see that the second player is the winner. Right. So in this way you could have different variations, like whoever has the higher hundreds wins, whoever has the higher thousands wins. So in that way you could have different variations also. Now when you have learnt about place value, we come to another very useful concept, that is expansion of numbers, because this is something that we use throughout, we use everywhere. In all parts of maths, in all further operations of maths, we use this expansion. Yes? So, if you remember properly, I can write 22 as 2 tens and 2 ones. So expansion, when I expand a number, I understand what is the value, what is the actual meaning of this number, what is 22. So it means nothing but 2 tens and 2 ones. Similarly, I take bigger numbers. So say I take a big number, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this means 5 and 4 zeros. So this is 50,000 plus 4,000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 1. Right? So how do we know this? Because we know the place values. So using the place values, you can do expansion. And I will show you a very easy activity by which you can revise this concept. Here I am using normal paper cups, paper glasses. Yes? So what do? We take a glass and we mark the digits from 0 to 9. I hope you can all see this. So 0 to 9 along the rim of the glass. So the first cup I have marked it as ones. Now the second one I mark it as tens. So I write the numbers in tens along the rim. So 10, 20s, 30, and since we are expanding, we are writing it in terms of plus, plus, plus. So I have put a plus also. The next glass has hundreds and the next glass has thousands. Right? So I take a number. Let me take a number. So since I have 4 glasses, you could try it with as many cups as you want. It is up to you. I've just brought it for the sake of easier thing to carry. So I take a number, say 24. So I'm using 3 glasses. So I first take these glasses and I put my numbers so that the numbers are visible. So I can see here 4, 2, 4. Can you all see this? So 4, 2, 4. And now it is time for some magic. Abracadabra, gilly, 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 and what happens? Yes. Can you see that? Yes. So did you see that, all of you? So 4 became 400. Then you have 20 and then you have 4. Yes. Now I am adding one more place. So I am taking a 4-digit number and let's say I mix up the numbers once more and I come to say I have a number 8972. Suppose I have this number. So you can all see this. 8, 9, 7, 2. Now you have to say it. This time you say it. So abracadabra, gilly gilly gilly, and see what happens. Can you all see that? So this becomes 7,000, sorry, where is that? 8,962. I think the glasses have moved. So in this way you can keep on doing as many expansions as you want, and it's a fun activity for you.
ওকে ম্যাম
Okay.
আমার মনে হয়
হ্যাঁ।
এই ফান অ্যাক্টিভিটিটা ওরা বেশ ভালোই এনজয় করছে এবং এবার বোধহয় একটু বড়দের সুযোগ দেওয়ার দরকার, মানে ওরা যদি ওদের দাদা দিদিদের সুযোগ দেয় তাদের ম্যাথসের জন্য, তো তাহলে আমরা এই ক্লাসটা আপাতত প্রাইমারি ম্যাথ ক্লাসটা এখানে শেষ করছি, একটা ছোট্ট ব্রেক। কিন্তু এরপর তোমাদের দাদা দিদিদের সুযোগ, অর্থাৎ আপার প্রাইমারির ম্যাথ এবং আপার প্রাইমারির ম্যাথের জন্য প্লিজ নোটবুক আর পেন হাতে নিয়ে বসতে হবে। ফিরছি একটা ছোট্ট বিরতির পর।
मैडम ये तो जादू की छड़ी है।
इसलिए अपने फैब्रिकेटर को बोलिए कि ग्रिल बनाए तो
सिर्फ SRMB रियल स्टील से।
এবার আপার প্রাইমারির ম্যাথস, আর যারা এই মুহূর্তে টিভির সামনে বসে রয়েছে নিশ্চয়ই নোটবুক আর পেন রেডি, সুতরাং দেরি করছি না। দ্য হেরিটেজ স্কুলের ম্যাথস টিচার সৌভিক জাতি আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন। স্যার আপনি শুরু করুন।
Good morning, children. I welcome you to the upper primary level of mathematics. I welcome all of you. I hope you're ready with your pen, pencil, pages as you are requested. So first, I will try to show you that what is the focus of mathematics right now in this particular level. It is just to consolidate and expand learning. Consolidate means whatever you have learned till class 5, class 6 or 7, whatever you have learned, you have to all put it together into a boiling pot. And then from there, you have to expand your learning, and it's how? It's by problem solving technique. Problem solving technique means you have to apply the acquired knowledge, whatever you have acquired the knowledge, all through these years, you have to put into use into new live situations. Now, is mathematics present only in the books? I don't think so. I think most of us will agree with that one, that no, maths is not present only in the books. So, if you look at this particular two figures, if you're asked what is the time and most of you say 1:30, have you noticed that you have used the word half, and that's a fraction? When this favorite dish comes in front of you, have you seen that this particular dish is divided into 8 equal parts, and if you are lucky to get 6 parts, you get a fraction of 6 out of 8? So yes, my dear children, we actually use mathematics always, all throughout life and life around us. When you send text messages, WhatsApp messages, do you know that these messages are end-to-end encrypted? Do you have any idea that the prime number that you have learned all throughout these years, they are the main and the basic foundation which makes this encryption strong? I can leave this one as an assignment during this lockdown period. You can venture more on this, how prime numbers can be used for end-to-end encryption of our messages. Today our topic that we are going to discuss right now over here is data handling. Now let us go into the detail of the term data and handling. Data means the information that you gather from around us. For what? For some cause. And that is what is data handling, which is interpreting the data or representing the data that you collect from around us into a graphical form, which can be a bar graph, a line graph, it can be a histogram or any form of graph which helps us to understand the concept or give us the answer. Let us give an example that why the graph is so important, the way as I said to you. I will give an example over here. Look at this. It shows the participation in camp activities. It is the data given to you, but in the form of a table. Quickly let me ask you a few questions and you try to answer to your parents who are sitting by the side of you. Or you try to answer. each question as fast as possible. Here goes question number 1. How many girls are playing tennis? Quickly answer. Next, name the activity. The number of boys participating more than the girls. How many more girls are participating in crafts activities as compared to the boys? No, you cannot take more time. So you have seen that. The time that you have taken, you have noted it down. Now I am going to represent the same information in the form of a graph. Here goes the graph. Look at the graph, children, and now try to answer these questions again. First question, how many girls are playing the tennis? Quickly look at the graph and say, name the activity in which the number of boys participating is more than the number of girls. Look at the graph. And next, how many more girls are participating in crafts activities compared to the boys? Haven't you seen that when you are looking at the graph, the interpretation was much easier than when you are looking at the table? This is where the graphical representation helps us to interpret the data, and so data handling is so very important. Now, first of all, in the first thing of data handling is the first step is organizing the data. The data means all the information that you have collected, and organizing means you have to combine this data and bring into a tabular form. Let us learn how organization of data can happen. Let me give you a small question. A survey was conducted in a locality of 20 houses and as to how many cars they have got. And these are the number of cars registered in the locality. Now we are going to understand how to create a frequency distribution table. So pay attention, get your pen, pages ready, and here it goes how we can go by this. Look at this very carefully. First I write what is the number, then I'll write something called as the tally marks. Tally marks means you have to put one scratch or you have to put a bar for one object, and then we have to write frequency. The numbers over here, if you quickly go through the number, you will find that the minimum number is 0 and the maximum number is 4. So I'll quickly write 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now let's go through it one by one. The first number is 1, so I'll put a 1 over here, a scratch over here. The second number is 2, I get it over here. Third is again 1, I get it over here. The fourth number is 0, so I put it here. The fifth one is 3, I put it here. Then I have got a 4, I put it here. Then again it's a 0, I put it here. Then I have got 3 ones, so 1, 2 and 3. Look at it very carefully. I have put a cross across over here because a 5 forms one particular group which helps us to count very easily. Then we have got 2 2s, so I give 2 2s over here. Then I have got a 3 again, I put a 3 here. Then again a 2, I put a 2 here. Again a 3, I put a 3 here. I made a mistake in 2. Yes, the 2 should be here. And then after 3, I get another 2. Okay. And then it's a 1. Fine. And then it's a 4. Fine. And then we have got 2 zeros, 1 and 2. Frequency will be counted from here. There are 4. So I write 4. This is 6. I write 6. This is 5. So I write 5. This is 3. I write 3. This is 2. I write 2. Do check. Add it up. It comes to 20 and you had 20 such data. So this is how the frequency distribution table can be made. Now how the frequency distribution table is helpful to us? We can take the help of frequency distribution table to create bar graphs, and I know that you have been taught how to do bar graphs. The next subtopic that we are considering today is mean or average. How do we find mean? Mean can be found out by adding up all the numbers that you are given divided by the number of terms. Okay, so you add up all the numbers divided by the number of terms, that will give you mean or average. You must be wondering why I need to find out mean. I'll come to that, but first you learn how to find mean. You must be loving cricket match. So here I give you the runs scored in a particular over in a cricket match. So these are the runs that is showing on the screen. It's 2, 2, 1, a dot ball means 0, then a 4 and then a 3 runs scored. Can you find quickly what is the mean run scored over here per ball? Children, I'll help you out. Start doing with your pen and pages. I will do it on the board. So please check your answer and show it to your senior. I think your parents are watching. They can check how you're doing it fast. So as per the thing, we have to add up the runs. So the first 2 balls, 2 plus 2 was scored. Then it was a 1 run. Then it was a dot ball. Then it was a 4 runs scored and a 3. So total if you do, it's coming 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 1 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 and plus 3 is 12. So the 12 run was scored. And now the mean or the average per ball is 12 divided by 6, which is 2. That means the mean run scored per ball is 2 runs scored per ball. Now, so you have already found out the value as 2. We go to the next thing, that what are the uses of means. I'll take you quickly to some areas where mean are useful to us. The first thing, selecting players for the cricket team. Definitely, if you are a good scorer and you are scoring best of runs in all the matches, so your mean score will be high, so you have got a chance getting selected in the school team. In order to plan a trip during a vacation, we just find out what is the mean or average temperature of a place, so that can help you to determine what kind of clothing you will carry over there. In agriculture, a farmer must know about the mean or average rainfall to find out whether a particular kind of crop is suitable for that area or not. And now we have manufacturing of washing machines. You must be wondering, washing machines and also mean? Definitely. If you look at the movement of the washing machines, you will find the machines are rotating clockwise, anti-clockwise and moving up and going down. In how many times? There is definitely a determined value. The engineers must have used the concept of mean to find out the average kind of motion that will enable your clothes to get washed very easily, and hence the mean is used in washing machines as well. Wow. Manufacturing shoes and ready-made t-shirts and trousers. You must be wondering how mean is helpful over there. I'll show you that.
কিন্তু তার আগে আমরা একটা ছোট্ট বিরতি নিতেই হচ্ছে, একটা ছোট্ট বিজ্ঞাপন বিরতি, এবং তারপর এবং যদি তোমাদের কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে তাহলে সেই প্রশ্নগুলো অবশ্যই তোমরা করতে পারো এবং এইভাবেই পড়ানো চলবে। একটা বিরতির পর সঙ্গে থাকো। আইসিএসসি ক্লাসরুমে আপার প্রাইমারির ম্যাথ পড়াচ্ছেন শৌভিক জাতি দ্য হেরিটেজ স্কুলের। স্যার, আপনি পড়ানো শুরু করুন। আমি শুধু একবার বলে দেবো, এর মধ্যে তোমাদের যদি কারো মনে হয় কোনো কোশ্চেন আছে তাহলে তোমরা ফোন করতে পারো। স্যার, শুরু করুন আপনি।
So, welcome back to the practical use of mean. As I told you, suppose you have to buy gloves for winter for the adult members of your family. I'll just help you out with this particular problem, how to find out or how to use the mean rather to find out the glove size. So children, you are ready with your pen, pages, rulers and everything? Fine. Now you have to do what? You have to go to your elders, that means the adult members, maybe your mama, papa, your elder brother, sister, whoever is there, grandma, grandmom, whoever is there. Please go and you have to take the palm size. How you're going to take it? You take the page and then let them put their palm on the top of the page the way I'm showing on the board. You have to put the palm on the top of the page and you have to mark a line over here and then you mark a line over here. Okay, so you get 2 lines. It is approximate will do, and then what you will do, you will take your scale, the ruler that you have got, and you will try to measure this length. Say the length is 18 and a little bit more than 18, so you have to take the value as 19. If the value is more than 16, you have to take the value as 17. That means you will take the next digit which is coming, the next value which is coming. Okay, I'm giving you a couple of seconds to do this one. Meantime, I'll show you a table where you will put these values. Children, your time starts now. You have to take minimum 2 to 3 values. So here you are. There will be a table for you. Here the family members, the measurement of palm size will be there. Few seconds are there for you to collect at least 3 measurements. Please do it fast so that you can take the measurement out and quickly measure. You can seek help from your elders also over there, who can take part in this activity and help you to measure. What you will do is that you have to write down the measurements that is given over there on the table, showing that measurement of palm length in centimeter. Whatever length you have got, generally the length will be either 18, year 19, year 20, year 16, whatever the length is there, children. Now you have to find out the mean or average of these length. You know already how to find out the mean or average. That means you are going to add this length up. Please add up the lengths that you have got and show it to your adult that the result is correct. After adding that one, please divide it by the number of members whose measurement you have taken. Please do the quick division. If you have got the answer, that measurement is the measurement of the average gloves that will fit to every member of the family. How does it help you? It helps you in the way that not everybody need to go to the shop to buy the gloves. That particular measurement will help you to get the gloves for all the family members. Now I hope you can easily understand how this particular method.
6th স্ট্যান্ডার্ডের একজন স্টুডেন্ট প্রশ্ন আছে,
Yes.
ক্যান ইউ আস্ক ইট? হ্যালো
হ্যাঁ হ্যালো
Hello.
হ্যাঁ বলছি যে মেন এতে এবং মানে ক্লোথের মেজারমেন্ট কি করে
কান হিয়ার ইট প্রপারলি।
I can't hear you properly. Yes.
ওকে 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 স্ট্যান্ডার্ড 8 এর একজন আছেন, হ্যাঁ হ্যালো।
Sir, you know that you told that you the number, telemark and frequency, that I cannot understand.
Okay. So I'll just tell you one thing. Whenever you see the number that are given in a series form the way I gave it to you, you have to write down the number that is the minimum and the number which is the maximum. On the left side. Then you have to write a tally marks. The tally marks column was there. What you need to do is that you just keep on seeing the first number, then the second number, then the third number and carries on. Whenever you see the number 1, you have to put a scratch across 1. You have seen I was putting a line or a bar. So you have to put a bar across 1. If the next number comes is 0, you have to put a bar by the side of 0. Like this way the thing will carry on. Because we find there are many children who just go through the data number of times and they keep on counting ones how many are there. If you practice that method, the whole theory of mathematics which is there for tally marks fails. Actually you will go through the data only once. So if you see the first number and you will go to that number and put a bar across the side of the number and then go to the second number, put a bar across the side. Like this way the process continues.
স্ট্যান্ডার্ড 4 এর একজন স্টুডেন্ট আছে এই মুহূর্তে। স্যার ম্যাম দিস ইজ ইয়োর টাইম, বলো কি প্রশ্ন।
हेलो
হ্যাঁ, ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার আস?
मैम मैं नीरज बोल रहा हूँ, मैं झारखंड से हूँ। मुझे क्लास 4 के लिए क्लास 4 के रिगार्डिंग में कुछ क्वेश्चन करना था मैम।
हाँ सर बोलिए,
ये कब से मतलब क्लास कब से स्टार्ट हो रही है मैम, और मतलब कैसे स्टडी?
Sir, that depends on the school that your child is attending, because right now we do not know. That is up to the state government to decide.
রাইট, 6th স্ট্যান্ডার্ডের একজন রয়েছেন, হ্যালো।
Yes.
Yes.
ইয়েস
Can you please understand me the means again?
Yeah, sure. I'm continuing with the mean once again. I've just stopped because of the of your questions. I'll continue with that one. I think it will help you to grab the concept.
খুব কম সময় রয়েছে আমাদের
Right. Okay.
প্লিজ
Okay.
প্লিজ স্টার্ট।
So mean, I just take this call. I mean, I'm just repeating once again. The values that you have got means whatever value you have got, you have to add the values together. Like I have got 16, 18, 19 and 20. I need to add the value. Add the value means you just keep on adding. 8 and 6 is 14. 14 and 9 will be how much? Tell me. 14 and 9 will be 23. Is it? 14 and 9 is 23. Yeah. Then you have 2 here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the sum is 73. Now for your children, mean means you have to divide this sum. Means 73 will be divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 observations. So we divide 73 by 4. And that is what is very important. After you divide, the result that you get is the value of the mean. Okay. Now over here, as I told you, this mean value of the gloves will help you to buy gloves. The same process when a tailor is making ready-made t-shirts and all these things, what they do, suppose if your waist is 34, so based on 34, they take the measurements of about more people and a standard perfect measurement is found out which will fit to all of us. and many of us. This is how mean is very helpful. Just I'll tell you one more thing. Here I didn't allow you to take your measurement. Do you know why? Because your measurement is much less than the original other people measurement, which is called as the outlier. So whenever you got an outlier, it deviates the mean value. So mean is only found between the numbers which are very close to each other. In order to accept the outliers, so we have to take median or mode or other central tendency.
It was a nice class, I must say. Sir, thank you, and ma'am, thank you. আর তোমাদের জানিয়ে রাখি যে যদি তোমাদের কোনো কোয়ারিজ থাকে তাহলে তোমরা মেল করতে পারো info@aiscwbc.org বা support@aiscwbc.org তে কোয়ারি করতে পারো তোমরা মেল করে, এবং ক্লাসরুম চলতেই থাকবে। তবে আজ যেহেতু সময় শেষ, ক্লাসরুম এখানেই শেষ করছি।